Yeah, make sure you keep saying that so that people can make a super cut of how many times you want to bring that up.
I'm gonna say it at least 3 more times. Chung Ling Fu.
That's pretty
Chung Ling
sick. Now I want to
Fu.
see an actual Chinese prestige get made. That'd be sick.
This is Chinese prestige.
Would you guys like to hear a ancient Chinese tale of a very famous magician
Ching chong.
from the 1800s?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
It's a very interesting story, and I think you'll enjoy it a lot. So there's a magician. His name's Chung Ling Su.
You're close. This guy was real close.
From the late, this is around like in the 1890s, and he's a really, really famous magician.
It's like last emperor era.
Yeah, in the vaudeville circuit, you know, like during like vaudeville and that era. So at one point, he had an even more famous rival named Chung Ling Fu. And this is a story of their rivalry.
So Fu versus Su.
Fu versus Su. Yeah, you have Chung Ling Su, and then you have Chung Ling Fu. Okay.
Stop laughing, dude.
I'm not laughing. You're laughing.
Oh my God, are you really? Those are funny names to you?
I'm not laughing. He's laughing. Watch the video. Roll back the tape.
Laugh it up because the story doesn't get funnier; it gets very serious. All right. So this is a story about the rivalry between these two magicians. Okay. So Chung Ling Fu, this guy is touring America, and he's the famous magician at this point, and he issues a public challenge to everybody. If they can figure out how he's doing his tricks, he's gonna pay them $1,000. And in 1891 money, that's 38 grand.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. I thought it'd be $1 million. What the?
So
$1,000 is damn.
yeah, so that's Chung Ling Fu basically going around being like, you know, if you know how I'm doing this, let me know. I'll pay you this money. Chung Ling Su actually does figure it out, and he's like, I want that money. I'm gonna tell you how he does it.
Of course, another Chinese guy cracks the Chinese guy.
So Chung Ling Su tries to collect the money and tell him how the tricks are done, but Chung Ling Fu refuses to meet with him at all. So he's never paying him the money. So Chung Ling Su gets really upset, and he decides that
Time to kill him.
not even worse. So this guy doesn't want to kill him. They just end up having a feud, and now Chung Ling Su takes the knowledge of Chung Ling Fu's act and just copies it, and basically rips off his whole act.
Oh, that's the part when Hugh Jackman takes his disappearing man thing.
Yeah, this is like the Chinese prestige.
Yeah, it's similar. Remember that in Prestige, you see that old Chinese guy thing? It's like that. I think that might be a shout out to this guy.
Cool.
Yeah, so so he steals the idea, and then he begins performing in Paris with the same exact act, and then eventually he steals his whole character and the whole thing. So people pretty much start thinking that's him, and then he gets so good that he ends up being way more famous than the original.
This is Chinese prestige.
What if the prestige story is Chinese and then they just made it?
Like Infernal
Oh,
Affairs
you mean-
and The Departed?
You mean they took that story and made it way more famous? So it's like a double entendre of like an act?
We got to make the Chinese version.
Yeah.
Joe versus Bart.
Chung Ling Su, the guy that copied everything, Chung Ling Su ends up becoming one of the highest paid performers in vaudeville history at that point. And he would never even speak on stage. He would just talk in like broken Chinese English here and there. And then
No can do.
and then he would
Long time no say.
yeah. He would use a translator, which was his wife, who was named Su Xin. And that would be the person kind of interpreting for him. So then Chung Ling Fu tried to expose him on several occasions and be like, that's a fake. This guy like stole my whole thing. And nobody seemed to give a shit. And then one day, Chung Ling Su was performing one of his famous tricks that he copied. One of the tricks was, I think this might have been like maybe the first of its kind. It was you can catch a bullet that you shoot at him.
This is Chinese prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you keep saying that so that people can make a super cut of how many times you want to bring that up.
I'm gonna say it at least 3 more times. Chung Ling Fu.
That's pretty
Chung
sick.
Ling
Now I
Fu.
want to see an actual Chinese prestige get made. That'd be sick.
This is Chinese prestige.
Yeah. So then the bullet trick was basically an audience member will write like a signature on the bullet.
My daddy wants to crush a bullet with his bare hands. They write that on the bullet.
And then he basically just palms the bullet and puts a different bullet into the gun. The gun is rigged in a very specific way that the gunpowder like ignites and just comes out of the bottom somewhere, and it doesn't actually push the bullet out, and the bullet just stays in the gun. And then he just goes, oh look, here it is.
This is Chinese prestige.
No, you know what? It can't, dude. Editor should just play the first clip of you saying it and just.
I can never evolve the way I say it.
Yeah. So then, what happens during this one famous act that he did? He had done it so many times that eventually in the chamber, a residue of gunpowder was building up in the wrong spot every time they would he wasn't cleaning the gun basically. So eventually the gun went off and the bullet actually did fire, and it hit him right in the chest. And suddenly Chung Ling Su is heard saying, "Oh my God, something's happened. Lower the curtain." And then he died.
Whoa.
And the public had finally found out that he spoke English, and Chung Ling Su was actually a failed magician named William Ellsworth Robinson, who had fooled the world into thinking that him and his wife were Chinese. He was just a white guy.
No, that's not Chinese prestige.
That's not.
That's prestige worldwide.
The funniest thing is there's pictures of them.
Yeah, I'm showing. So like the crazy thing is that the whole time Chung Ling Fu or whatever has been trying to tell people that this dude's just a white guy.
And they're like, shut up!
Yeah.
He's obviously Chinese!
He had stayed so true to his act and never spoke to anyone. The whole world thought this fool was just a regular old Chinese guy. So I'll just play the video of the summary of it so you can see for yourself.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because there's documentation of it and everything.
Fucking sick, man.
This episode is brought to you by the RP Diet Coach app. Remember when I lost over 30 pounds and got ripped for a bodybuilding show? This is the exact app I used. You can adjust your macros your way, shift your calories from day to day, between meals, and get instant guidance when your plans change. You tell it what goals you want, and then it gives you the plan to follow. It's super easy to use, and it's built by my buddies over at RP. Jared from RP was my diet coach for my bodybuilding show, where I won double first place, so you know that it works. To get our special subscriber pricing, go to rpstrength.com/rpskinnytime. That's rpstrength.com/rpskinnytime. RP Skinny Time. Link in the description below.
That guy? That motherfucker's white, bro. That fool's fucking white as fuck.
Okay, this is the legend of Chung Ling Su and Chung Ling Fu. I don't even know if I'm saying it right at this point.
Chung Ling Su, an American who pretended to be a Chinese orphan trained in the ways of an ancient, dying Chinese black magic. He traveled with an English translator and pretended to barely speak any English. He even had his American assistant, Olive Path, posing as his Chinese wife, Su Xin.
Sushi.
Elaborate charade.
The daughter looks Chinese, doesn't even look Chinese.
Ellsworth Robinson. He created the character to help him book more shows, drawing inspiration from a Chinese stage magician named Chung Ling Fu.
That fool looks Chinese as hell.
Tried to expose Chung Ling Fu's illusions, but when that failed, he instead adopted a similar persona and performed an almost identical routine. Chung Ling Su's act became wildly popular, and he was booked everywhere, eventually surpassing Chung Ling Fu in fame and success. His rise to prominence infuriated Chung Ling Fu, who soon discovered that Chung Ling Su was actually William Ellsworth Robinson. Fu publicly denounced Chung Ling Su as an imposter and became determined to expose him. To generate publicity, Fu's promoter announced a challenge. Fu would replicate at least half of Chung Ling Su's illusions to prove that he was the original Chinese conjurer. Su accepted the challenge, and the two agreed to meet at the offices of the Weekly Dispatch for a press conference before the event. However, when Chung Ling Fu realized that the press was uninterested in Su's real identity, he backed out of the conference and the challenge. This turn of events proved embarrassing for Chung Ling Fu, as it drew more attention to his failed attempt to discredit Chung Ling Su. Chung Ling Su reached the pinnacle of his career with his version of the bullet catch trick, which he called condemned to death by the boxers. In the act, a marksman would fire a musket at Su's chest, and he would seemingly catch the bullet in front of a live audience. Tragically, during a performance, the musket malfunctioned, and a real bullet was fired into Su's lung. He died on stage, and the incident marked the end of the popularity of the bullet catch trick for nearly 70 years. This is Chung Ling Su,
Wow.
an American who...
But if you've never seen a Chinaman before, that could convince me.
He did pretty good.
Yeah,
Because I mean, like, how would you know? And then he goes, ha, cha, 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 cha. And I'm like, oh, Chinese!
Do you think he did the squinty eyes though when he was walking around?
probably.
Do you think he was just?
And is it racist if he's the originator? Because you know how, like, back then, like, they had to see a character and then they pretended to be that, right? But this dude was just copying a real Chinese guy. And then, so he was copying from the source.
He was stealing.
So that makes him the originator?
He's the original racist character.
But he's the original copy, is what you're saying.
And then people copy the yellow face from this guy.
Dude, there's so much information on him when you look up like on like his actual Wikipedia. He bullshitted so many facts about his life. It's really funny. They were like, "Who's your dad or mom or dad?" And he said he's born from that his dad was Arhe. He made up the name Arhe.
He's like, that sounds Asian.
Yeah. Arrhee.
He.
What the
Arhe. I'm son of Arhe.
This is Chinese prestige.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I would want to see this movie though. I think it'll be a good comedy.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually made a movie of this exact like thing.
Because it sounds so close to Prestige, but then Prestige, I think, has like a very like poetic cinema style ending.
Yeah.
But it feels like they drew a lot of inspiration from this rivalry.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just a common thing between magicians.
Yeah, magic beef.
Magic beef, because it's like only magicians know the secrets.
Yeah.
Right?
It might be common because before he started copying this Chinese guy, he was copying some other Arabian guy. So it's not the first time he's done this.
So he's like, dude, these ethnics got this magic game on
He was a
lock, bro.
Muhammad before.
some kind of name that was it was really really similar to the guy he was copying because I think he in the story it's like he knew that this guy was famous, this other dude, some like Persian Arabian guy, and he tried to get people to think he was that guy. So he would book these jobs and people would just think it's the same guy. And he darkened his skin and tried to look like the
He did Arab face? Crazy.
face. And then I think because back then it's like, how do you really know? Like you've only seen them in person.
You don't got IDs. You
No
don't.
social media.
Yeah.
And probably too back then, if you were a foreigner, you could sell magic way better.
Yep.
Because you're mysterious.
Yeah.
Exactly. You look different than everyone else. So as a white guy, you're like, oh, I got in the wrong field.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine how easy it is to sneak into countries back then. You don't got like TSA pre or none of that shit.
Well, imagine how hard it is to get there, though. You got to take a 3-week ship.
Yeah, but you just tell them like, "Hey, I'm fucking Winston Churchill or whatever," and they're like, "Get on the ship."
Yeah, it was a thing too at the point where Chung Ling Fu and Chung Ling Su were performing at the same time. It said that like so the original guy had only been booked for it said 4 weeks, and then the fake had a booking for 3 months. So all of his contracts were just getting like so much better than the original. But it's just crazy that he really was just like a white guy that couldn't make it as a magician. So he just started ripping.
That means just like a Chinese a prestige, this also has some poetic ending where he just died.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I would argue he's actually very Chinese because he just stole someone's act.
He might be more Chinese because the Chinese guy was being original, and that's actually being white.
That's why Timu is just merely reparations.
Team was like, oh, this is a payback for Chung Ling Fu.